Welcome you all to today's video where I'll be sharing an incident which happened with me recently, right? So I paid a penalty of almost 60,000 to NSE, right? So let's understand the reason behind this thing. Okay, so as you all see, they charged me FNO short margin penalty. The total amount is around 55,100, right? So what is the reason behind this? Okay, so if we move down to our positions. Okay, so as you all know, I do hedging and option selling in the market, right? So naked option selling requires a lot of margin. So we are introduced to this new rule where if you buy hedges, you can save a lot of margin, right? So earlier, what I used to do was whenever I used to square off the position, I used to square them off on market orders, right? But because of the freak trades happening, I switched that to limit orders. Okay, so the mistake I made here is, for like basically I squared off the hedges first, and then the options that I've sold basically for 3 consecutive days. Okay, so if there's this rule, if we read this, if short non-collection of margins for a client continues for more than 3 consecutive days, then penalty of 5% of the shortfall amount shall be levied for each day of continued shortfall beyond the third day of shortfall. All right, so what happened here is we weren't कुछ ज़्यादा we weren't using the margin, but what happened was जो 1 minute का difference रहता है, so my accounts margin basically went negative for like 3 consecutive days, and because of this 5% rule they charge on the total margin exposed, the amount turned out to be around 56,000, right? So how do we basically how can we look after this is that if you are entering into these hedging positions or you're doing option selling, so first you need to square off the options that you have sold and then the hedges. All right, so this will be like really helpful where your account balance won't go into negative, and you'll always stay safe. So this is something which happened with me for the first time, right? So I was a little freaked out when I saw this, but then I thought it's just a learning for me, right? If I want to stay in this game for long term, so it's good that these things happened so early, right? Which will help me grow in the long term, right? And if you'll see, last week we made around 6% on the capital deployed, which was around 60,000. And it's just that my 1 week's profits are gone, so I am thinking of it that way, right? So yeah, that's the psychology a person should keep, I guess. Like there's no losing, only learning in life, right? So yeah, I'll be looking after this from now, right? So that I don't have to pay any other margin. I have to look after my accounts value as well, right? So yeah, this was it for today, guys. I hope you learned something through it. Thank you.